Dun, dun, dun! Hello, beautiful people. It's me, Robyn Carpenter Briscoe, your favorite spiritual life coach. And I am here today for another episode of Illimitable Living Sessions. Do, 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 do. I got that from you, Jenn. And I have a special guest today, my friend Jenn August. I am really, really excited about having her here for so many reasons. Welcome, Jenn.
It's so good to be here with you, Robyn.
I'm saying I started doing that because of you. So Jenn and I have known each other quite some time.
A long time.
If you have a copy of my book, you will know that I mentioned her in the beginning because I talk about the fact that I was in a workshop with Jenn when I realized I needed to write this book. And it was kind of like a throwaway when I did it. I just wrote it and I put it up on Amazon and I sold 6 copies, like to my mom and my sister and Veronica, my wife, and but then I stopped treating it like it wasn't something valuable and really believed in it. And now it's a book and people buy it and you can buy it.
Yes, you should buy it.
Everyone, let's get
some
stoned. It's beautiful because you can create a life that rocks.
Absolutely.
And she is the reason that sounds that way, because we were doing a mastermind and we talked about the title of the book. And it was in that mastermind that we finally created a life that rocks, because I had other stuff going on and she was like, no. And I said, okay, Jenn. So she is the reason that you can read the book and it sounds like me and it looks like me and it is so much me, and the fact that it exists. You can thank Jenn August.
Well, I'm happy to be on your success team because you are a light, and any way I can support that light and shining, I'm joyful to be a part of.
I am grateful. She is also, as it says on her name, she does life coach certification, and she is who certified me as a life coach. We will talk more about that later, because what I really want to do is get into today's topic, and that is, I'm only human. Stop right now before you sing that terrible 80s song about cheating. I don't like that song. Anytime you say I'm only human, people immediately start singing that song.
I actually wrote a song called Only Human, and I wasn't going to sing the other song. That's why I was like,
good.
What?
See? Sing that song. I want to hear Jenn's song. Jenn writes music. I told you she's many wonderful things. And it is because it's a mindset. It's bullshit. It's like a mindset, like black hole or bottomless pit that you can drop yourself into with a statement like that.
Yeah.
Because language means a lot more than people give it credit for in your mind, right? Like
Absolutely.
That you say all the time. So when I say I'm only human, what do you think of? Especially because you wrote a song about it. So tell me.
Well, it's interesting because, I think Ani DeFranco said every tool is a weapon if you hold it right. And so one part of me is there's a compassion space of only human. And then there's also the letting yourself off the hook of only human, right? And it's interesting because when I coach clients, I'm like, okay, well, if they didn't do something that they committed to, there's a whole universe of things that could be going on. And so I'll say to them, I'm like, is this you flaking on yourself, and that's the kind of, oh, I'm only human, I couldn't do it? Or is this you hitting a block or fear or doubt or something about mindset? It's on this side. And so, I think it could be, if it's used as an excuse, it's a good thing to examine. But if it's used as a compassion space, because I'll give you an example. It's like I had this client who wouldn't make her follow-up calls. She wouldn't make her follow-up calls. And so we looked at the fact that, it's like I had her, because the way I coach people is like, it's about intuition. And it's like, so are you bailing on yourself? Or is this resistance have some wisdom telling us something else?
Right.
And she felt it and she's like, I'm bailing on myself, right? That's I'm only human. But if it's saying, oh, I need a mindset shift around making these calls, or I need a better script, or then there's the, okay, I'm only human, compassion space, and I'm going to take the step to improve.
I love you so much, Jenn.
I love you too.
But it's exactly,
my heart fell off. I was like, I love you. And you're like, what's she doing? I love you.
But it's both and, right?
Both and. It's both and.
And because when you're in that compassion space, as you're saying, it's really about, you're here, you're a divine being here to have a human experience, which means you're here to learn stuff. So, you didn't do that thing. What's going on? It's your opportunity to check in, see what's up, and ask why.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and then why again, if necessary. It's like, well, I'm bailing on myself. So why do you think that is? It's that thing. You have to get deeper until you get your answer. And also, it's okay. Like that's where that compassion piece is. It's like, it's okay. Okay, you didn't do the thing. Okay, this happened. Okay.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. That could have happened and it didn't happen. And so now you just figure out why. And then my favorite question for clients is, what are you going to do about it?
That's right. What are you going to do?
And that's where that, well, I'm only human, thing. That's where the other part comes in, and that's that cop-out piece. And I'm like, no, man, that's you're human. What a wonderful, amazing gift it is to be human. I mean, if you think about it, how we exist and function and all of the things that no one can explain, like the miracle that being human is this wonderful thing. So it's not only human, is you're human. How magnificent. And also that thing didn't work out exactly the way you were hoping it was going to. It's like absolutely I'm all about both and though.
And I do feel like there sometimes the only human cop out, or the like, oh, I just can't do it. I think it can come from, being in a classroom where you had to move at a certain speed, and that speed either meant that you're like good and you're smart, or you're slow. And like, right. And so it's this, being able to really start living on your own planet and saying, okay, well, what is my speed? How do I get things done? And because when someone's trying to create something and they have always had to do it a way that they were taught versus finding their own natural path, it's, and I'll actually give you an example, because I for years, like, had a band and was, touring, and I hired this coach to help me, like, take my music business to the next level.
Right.
And she told me that I was lazy. And that was like a kind of an only human moment. But what she didn't realize, and what a lot of coaches don't realize, is that sometimes the most powerful coaching you could give someone is to help them see that what they're trying to go for isn't what they really want.
Their thing.
Right? And that's what happened for me, was because I was validated as a performer and a writer. And the more I did it, I was in smoky bars, and I'm like, it hadn't hit me yet that I was being called to the wellness industry and to the life coaching and all that. But, being able to, say, okay, well, what are the reasons that someone's not doing something, right? Okay. So it could be mindset, could be belief. It could be structure, or they don't know what to do. Right. They don't know the steps. Or it could be that they've been programmed to believe, like I was programmed to believe, you must be a musician. That's how people validate you. Yes. And I wasn't doing it because my soul was saying, this is not your path, right? And so that's why I love to say to clients and people I train to be life coaches, it's like, what are these marketing pieces, and which part makes you want to vomit and you don't want to do, and which part brings you joy? Let's really coach you from the inside out and really validate your intuition, right? And so to me, that's exciting. And people will be like, oh, I didn't do my homework. I didn't do my steps. I'm like, wonderful. Let's find out where you're blocked.
Like, why? Why'd you not do
right? They're like, what? I'm not a bad girl. No, your resistance has wisdom. It's trying to tell you something. Let's figure it out.
Exactly. That's the thing you say. Well, so you had that thing. Did you get that done? No, I didn't get that done. Oh, so what do you think would happen? Why?
Yeah.
It's not like, what did you do that? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Let's get curious.
Was it kind of like not that fun of an exercise and you kind of weren't inspired to do it? Maybe it was my thing, sometimes like what I'm offering is not the thing that's really turning someone on. So maybe that's the deal. Or maybe it's like, I this came up and I didn't want to look at that. So then I just decided not to look over there.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. And so it's interesting. I'm always explaining to clients, I'm not judging you. Never, ever, ever. Like not ever. Yeah. At any time that when we sit down and we start saying something and you start giving me the things, I'm not your mom, man. Like I'm not your mom. I'm not the principal. I'm not a teacher. I'm not any of those things. I am literally here for you. So I already see you in your divine perfection as your beautiful, fantastic self that you are. And I'm here to help hold that mirror up for you, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to give me all the things. It's not. I don't need any of those things. So you don't have to apologize.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. Like we're here to figure it out. Work on
collaborate.
Find the thing. Find what's making you hum and sing and dance and get excited when you can always tell when it's working, right?
Yeah.
Because the client comes to a session and their face is all lit up and they're all like, and they can't wait to tell you what's going on. That's when you know what's happening, because it's the shift at the thing happened. They caught it, whatever it was. So I do want to talk about, because mindset. So you have a background as a hypnotherapist.
Yes.
So, and I'm so, if I had yet another lifetime to learn all the things I learned, that is on the list, right? It's because it's so connected to all the stuff that we do as coaches, particularly in spiritual practice, my mantra and affirmations and all the things. It comes from that place. It's just deeper, right? It's
absolutely.
We have the activity. We're active in speaking our affirmations, and then the hypnotherapy comes at a deeper level. Same thing, just way down here, so that it gets past all the.
Absolutely.
So I would love a reframe for I'm only human. When you want to give yourself, have compassion for self,
Yeah.
and allow for the understanding that you are here to learn, right? So instead of I'm only human, what else could someone say?
Well, I think that it's really kind of first deciding that they're going to be living on their own planet, okay. Where meaning as if they were raised on a planet full of themselves, right? Because a lot of times the way that we're hard on ourselves or the way that we give up is because we were within someone else's system, mom, dad, culture, right? And so the first step would be, okay, well, I'm only human. My guess would be it comes from I can't win within this system, versus, okay, well, if I was raised on my own planet filled with myself, how would we see this? What is I'm only human made of, and what circumstances create someone to say that? And if they say that as a way not to deal with stuff, can they use it as an exercise to look deeper at the I'm only human? So I would say, if they use that as a cop out, say, I'm about to only human myself. I wonder if I'm having a mindset block,
right?
Like, who am I to do this? Or I'm not good enough.
Right.
Or a method block, which is I don't know how to do it. Or honestly, am I having like a physical, like I haven't eaten enough, slept enough, or like a bio-human check,
right? Which is real.
It's real.
It's real. I'm hypoglycemic, so
yeah,
everything seems totally logical when you're losing your sugar mind, right? And you don't even think about it. And so really, are you dehydrated? Have you eaten? You feel as though you're being extraordinarily extra right now.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's I always tell people, when you don't know what to say or do, take a breath.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you take the breath, it gives you time to actually assess what's going on. And it's simply a breath. It's not like some really long period of time. And we make split-second decisions all the time. So a breath is long enough for you to look around, look within, and then decide what the next.
Absolutely.
So I feel as though that your inclination to only human yourself, right, is to. I love that. Oh, look, there I am. I'm doing that. That's what I do. A version of that where I don't do it as much any longer. And I did often find myself going, oh, look, there I am doing that thing I do.
Right. Yeah.
Look, it is. Look, oh, yep. I'm doing that thing I do. Yeah. So what am I going to do about it?
Yeah. And one of the things that I do recommend that people do is, like, whether they're saying I'm only human or whatever is the thing that they say that is their free pass out of responsibility for for what they want to create. Right. And so instead of, it's just kind of this all or nothing, like I'm either doing it or I'm not doing it, really creating like a criteria to take themselves through, which is, and it reminds me, because I interviewed Jack Canfield for this social entrepreneurs product that I was like interviewing everybody for, and they were putting it together. And I remember asking him a question that kind of led to me thinking this, which was, how do you handle all the requests that you get for people to work with you, or, promote your thing and right? Right. And he said, I created a criteria of what would make me have a conversation with him. He's like, now I have an assistant to have a conversation, right? So it's kind of like taking this thing that's happening and then kind of taking it through steps. So I would say if someone's hitting that, like I'm giving up, I would have them have questions like question number one, am I tired, hungry, or thirsty? Right. Question number two, underneath this thought, what am I really saying? Am I saying that I give up, or is it really like me needing to honor that I need to start this again tomorrow? Right. So it's just like, so someone can say, I'm hitting this thing and I'm going to be curious about what it means, because that space of, we have the ability to respond, it's our responsibility. And usually things that trigger us or block us are just like instant. And if we can break it down into like, okay, am I tired? No, I'm not tired. Okay. Am I bailing on myself, or do I really need to just take a break from this project? Okay. No, I'm not bailing on myself, and no, I don't need to take a break. Whatever those questions are,
right?
So that you can really honor the information that's coming out of you, right? And uncharge a trigger if there's just a trigger there when things get hard, instead of just quitting. It's like, oh, I'm not quitting, I actually am taking a break. Or, oh, I just discovered I need some help to figure this out or that out, because we have such quick imprints about, our brain goes quickly to let's make us safe, so let's not look bad and not know what to do or whatever. And we have to slow the reel down so we can say, oh, that's what's happening,
Well,
and really
definitely look to defend. It's really funny. We looked at like for defending ourselves against judgment.
Mm-hmm.
That's in our head, like the judgment's in our head, and then we're defending it, and have already come up with all the reasons why it's not your fault.
Absolutely.
Except it's all in your head. I mean, that's
yeah. Well, and one of the things, I'm sure you'll remember this from the certification program, that I like to teach people to do, because like when we have something going on in our head and we're like, there's all the triggers coming after us, it's hard to see. It's like trying to read a book that's smashed against your face, right? So I always recommend people do a video or audio witnessing, where you literally turn on the recording. I'm only humaning myself. And then you interview yourself, and then you interview. And then you get like a feeling of relief, because you've just listened to yourself and you've gotten to unfold everything. And then you listen back, because your voice will, except someone who's like a super trained spy or actor, your voice will tell you the truth.
Right.
And so that's also a powerful way to, absolutely.
Yeah, if you hear yourself saying it, your filters don't get triggered, right? Like all the booby traps that happen in your brain don't get triggered, because it's your voice. So you're going to believe it.
Yeah.
Only it inside,
and you can hear the tone of your voice. Like I remember getting this, these people wanted to get me have my own show and all this stuff, and I was really excited about it. But every time I audio witnessed myself, my voice sounded squished, and I was like, like my voice sounds stressed while my words sound excited. And so the more I dug deeper, I realized that my body, mind, and spirit did not trust these people, even though I was trying to get myself to trust them, because I wanted that to happen. And then I was like, well, don't forget, Jen, you can create whatever you want. You don't need them to create that.
Right.
But that's that power of not making yourself wrong for anything, just being super curious how you could learn about how to unfold things and how to turn these challenges into, beautiful things.
Yes. I'm human, and it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. And honestly, I think it's really okay to give you I'm about to only human, and you know what? I'm going to let myself fully only human right now. I'm just going to go all the way in, right?
That's just it.
And some days it's just like, I'm going to have it. But sometimes when we fully have it, we also get to see how it works,
right.
And so it's just,
you recognize it's coming. So now you're already paying more attention to it, right? Like you're already, look, and I'm feeling all, and
you're
I'm just
self-scientist. Yeah.
Right. And
You're
you're
just
doing the thing. It happened. Yeah. It happened to me this morning where I was like fussing about this thing that happened to the guy that was there. He hadn't done anything, and I was just fussing, and I was like, I said, I'm sorry if this is upsetting you. I'm not blaming you. I'm literally just fussing. It'll be done in a second. It'll be done in a second. It'll just come
totally.
up and out of my head, all the things.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go have a coffee, right? And he was like,
Yes.
it's okay. And he was
Absolutely.
like, don't worry. And we laughed. It was
Absolutely.
fine. And the thing is, that's the other part though. You have to, and that's the part. It's the have compassion for self, give yourself a break, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also understand that your words have power, and and you can empower yourself with
Yes.
them, because you don't want to, only human yourself in that, give where you're not holding yourself accountable to something, because
Absolutely.
then it becomes a continually self-fulfilling prophecy. I never get anything done. I have
Yeah.
bad follow through, blah blah, whatever things
Sure.
that you
Sure.
say. So it's important to really, stop and figure out what you're doing, right? When you feel yourself doing it. and
Absolutely.
and if you don't do it right away, like, keep at it. It's that's why it's called spiritual practice,
Yes.
because you have to practice doing it all
Yes.
the time.
Absolutely. You got to fall. I mean, that's what I would say. It's like fall in love with the process. You will have the best life.
Yeah.
Fall in love with the process. Like be like, it's like an adventure. You're like, oh, I don't know how to do this. I wonder how I can, and just, because then it becomes like a puzzle. Like I grew up and they never caught that I had dyslexia, right? So I really thought that I wasn't smart, and I would shut down very easily if something was hard for me, right? And then once, I discovered as a grown-up that I had it, so I didn't get any help in school with that. And then I realized, like, oh, I would shut down because I knew I would get it wrong, and I didn't want to get it wrong, right? And so what shifted for me was starting to realize, like, my fear of getting it wrong was, back in the day, was really blocking my ability to create learning adventures for myself.
Right. Well, right. Because learning is a wonderful thing. When you learn
so
something
fun.
New, I know.
It's so fun.
It
Yeah.
is. Cool. You're like, oh, what I got. It's like,
yeah, it's like, I don't know this. I'm going to learn it, right?
I know. It's such a great gift to give yourself, though, because, it happens within you. Learning happens within you. So it feels really good when you've done it. And it's an accomplishment that only you can give yourself. Like, you're the only one that can do it. It's just
Absolutely.
like running a marathon. I've run a couple of marathons, and one of the things, and then I was a weight loss leader for a company at one point, and I used to talk to my people, and I would say, you're the only one that can get yourself there. I can be the biggest cheerleader, right? But you are still the only one that can get yourself there. And and then I would pull out the medal, and life is a journey, not a destination, which it actually says on the medal for the London Marathon, which is one of my favorite anonymous. It's it's the same thing with this kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, you're human. It's great. It happened or it didn't happen. You did it or you didn't do it, and awesome. It's all part of being human,
Absolutely.
And I love it. Thank you for this. This was good.
Yeah.
This is good. This is a good chat. I knew it would be, though. So what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about what you've got going, because I know you've got something really fun going right now.
Yes,
And I
indeed.
wanted to share it with people. So tell me.
Yay! Well, I have a life coach certification institute called Beyond Limits Life Coaching Institute. And we train people to become certified life coaches with unshakable confidence so they can make a big impact and give back. And there's a concept that I like to teach called lead with a give. Like when we're sharing what we do and we're inviting people, I want to be able to bless people's lives, whether they say yes or no. I want them to get a positive transformation, whether they decide to work with us or not. And that's why my team and I decided that we were going to do a 7-day trial so people could really be in the program for 7 days. They could learn the trainings, they can get on a couple of group coaching calls to really feel if we're a match for them. And it's such a beautiful win because really my mindset is I want to bless someone's lives whether they say yes or no. And if it's a match, they'll say yes. And if it's not, they got some really good information and got to learn about, mindset and method. And we're just so excited about it because, it's not buy this program or go to this page. It's just come on in, check it out. See if it's a fit.
Well, it's true though, because part of the reason I hadn't gotten certified prior to meeting you was because it didn't match up with all of the things that I needed to match it up with. There's plenty of ways to be certified. And also that's why there are however many universities there are and all of it, whatever it is, there's the one that's really yours that works for you. And then it's up to you to find it. And so this is a wonderful way of learning if it's a match, because when it is, it's a gift for everyone involved.
It really is. Yeah. And we're doing 3 times a year we have the 2-day Zoom live event. Yeah. And then we have the study at your own pace. And then everybody has access to the training hubs with the worksheets. And then we actually added, since you went through the program, 2 calls a month. Okay. One of them is, we're always inviting grads to come back. One of them is the Coaching Confidence Formula call, where you practice getting your coaching confidence and getting your intuitive coaching download and just going out there. And the other one is a business coaching success accelerator call about growing a business that aligns with who you really are. Yeah. And so it's been really wonderful to kind of expand the offerings and, create that space where people can really, because I believe that people that are drawn to the program, I say our unofficial tagline is, you were born a coach, let's make it official, right? Because we do attract newbies, but we also attract people who already have an incredible wisdom and they just really want to pour their wisdom within the structure of life coaching. And that's why it was so fun to work with you, because you know what you know and you're just taking it to that next level, you know what I mean? And sharing all the gifts that you have, in that structure.
And confidence though, when you've done it and you've kind of sort of done it and you've kind of been doing it for a long time and you know that you've been doing it and you don't really know what you're doing, right? And it puts structure in a way that makes you feel like you're not floundering. That's what's so great, because it's intended for people who are really good with, gray kind of no boundaries kind of ways of being. And also, how do I do this thing? There are forms, there's stuff. Really, I mean, I use my reminder all the time where I look up a thing and I'm like, okay, well, Jenn has a thing, so I'll just look it up, because that way, and it's either copy or verbatim, or at least get me started, so then I can create my own version of that. But I don't even understand how to even think about it. Where I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, I need that too. So it's a really great, and they get it for 7 days for free.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because that means they'll get excited and then they'll want to keep going.
Absolutely. If they're a really good match, they're going to be like, yes. And if not, then, we're not refunding anybody, and we're not, it's really,
Right. Things.
but usually, honestly, we really draw people who, they just have a big mission, a big heart, and they really want to make a big difference. But and I feel like, and you can attest to this if you feel like it's true, I feel like the program is really like a personal growth program meets a life coaching certification program, because we're like, look, these tools are for you too,
Right.
to bust through the next level, to create more abundance and confidence and self-love. And really, my whole thing is like, activating the intuitive, powerful healer that is already in the person, to the next level. And that's why awesome people like you are drawn, because there's the energetic language and, clearing blocks and, really seeing the soul of your client and really, partnering with them on what they need.
Well, it's good because you've allowed yourself to simply accept yourself as yourself and be all the magnificent things that you are. And in doing that, you are able to help others do the same. And so you never feel weird or like, I'm doing this thing and I don't know if anybody's going to do it, it's like, well, if you thought that it needs to happen, if you think that you have something that you need to offer, then there are clearly people out there that need it, because
absolutely,
or you wouldn't be drawn to thinking about doing that, right?
Absolutely.
So now we just need to have you understand what that means for you to be in service, and then how to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was thinking about, God, you shared this really cool story about a client's therapist who wanted to, can you share that? Because I laminated that in my happy folder because it was such a cool story. Would you be willing to share a little bit of that?
Yeah. So I have a client that has been doing what I call spiritual IV sessions. So they're like spiritual infusions that you get twice a week, and it's a subscription. And so she's been doing them for a few months. And at early on, she had been seeing a therapist, and then she started working with me. And about 2 months ago, her therapist released her from having to come in all the time. Said, as long as you keep doing the things that you're doing,
coaching with Robyn.
She's like, take this, don't be freaked out about taking that little thing. And she said, and also definitely keep working with Robyn. I've been wanting to ask you. And she said, she was like, how do you get a spiritual life coach? She said, because her therapist remarked to her, she says, it was different. She goes, you were like this, and I didn't know how we were going to get you better. And then you started doing this, and keep doing this because it's working. And I think I might need that too.
I love it. I love it.
I was like, hang on, I love that when that's happening. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's like I can always tell when it's working. I get some message, I get a call, I get a video shot on a beach somewhere, people jumping in the air. I get a thing, they're frantic emails of a thing. Where all of a sudden the thing that I keep, we keep talking about the thing, and we keep, it keeps coming up, and we move it around this way, and then we do some of this, and I read a book, and we la little, and then all of a sudden it's like,
it's there. Boom.
It's there, and then their light is shining so brightly that I'm excited.
It's the best.
So if you think that you are someone that can help people get to that place, if you think that you're someone that you're like, I want to do that, I want to be a person that helps people do that, then I think you might want to have to talk to Jenn, is what I'm saying. And now she's giving you the opportunity to do it for free for 7 days so that you can see really Jenn is the one. And if Jenn is not the one, then maybe this will help you solidify at least the idea that you're sure this is the direction you want to go, and you find the one that is right for you.
Absolutely.
It's a great way to try it out. So how would someone do this?
So if you want to get into the trial, you can go to tinyurl.com/my 7-day trial. So tinyurl.com/my 7-day trial. If you can't find it there, which you will, but it's not easy to remember, just go to August.com. And it's right on the top of the page, JennAugust.com, and you click give me the trial. Now, one of the cool things about the trial is that we reward people for engagement. So it's a 7-day trial. And so like for several days, we have, if you answer this question, you'll get this cool thing like a mindset audio or a template or a, so it's like not just actually getting the training that you would get if you're in the program, but you get all these other like beautiful things if you engage.
Yay. The mindset audio is telling you right now, I am a money magnet.
Yes. So get in JennAugust.com or tinyurl/7-day trial. My 7-day trial.
My 7-day trial.
My 7-day trial. Or you can find me on Facebook and it's all over my profile.
It's all over. You can look for Jenn August, you will find her. Do it. And I suggest that you do it anyway, because you will not be displeased in any way. You will thank me and say, Robyn, I can't believe you. I thank you so much for connecting me with Jenn August. And I'll say, I know, she's awesome, right? We'll have that moment. It will be wonderful. And I will be grateful that another connection has been made.
Yeah. You know what they say, Robyn, it takes an awesome to know an awesome.
Well, there it is. And on that note, that is the perfect note that we're going to say thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did and want to keep being engaged and keep remembering that these things are happening, subscribe to the channel, get those notifications so that you can be notified anytime something wonderful is happening. Make sure that you do follow Jenn August in all the places that you can find her. I will see you next week. I am grateful that we are here together every week. I am grateful that you exist on the planet. I want you to always remember that you are illimitable. So go out and create a life that rocks. See you next week.